We were all deceived by Lance Armstrong. Now he's finally coming clean. In an interview with Oprah Winfrey, Armstrong wasn't overly emotional. In fact, some say his body language tells a completely different story. Susan Constantine is a body language expert. Good morning.
Good morning, Carol.
You know, one of the noticeable habits Armstrong displayed in last night's interview was he kept touching his face and covering his mouth. Let's watch.
Well,
and that's, no, I didn't. That was true.
That was true. 11 of the 2000 tour, stopping at a hotel. Tyler Hamilton says you stopped at a hotel. How did it all work?
I viewed it as very simple. And for most of my career, there wasn't that much of that. Just, again, just trying to perpetuate the story. Ferrari, and again, it's hard to talk about some of these things.
So, Susan, what does that tell you?
Well, when people put their hands over their mouth, if you can imagine like a little kid that's about ready to tell a lie, what do they do? They put their hands over their mouth. What he does is it's like taking a fishing net, kind of scooping it up and putting the words right back in his mouth, putting his hands to hold the words within. So basically when you're doing that and you're kind of rubbing here, it's kind of a soothing gesture. So when I'm about to tell a lie, I'm also going to pacify myself. It's a self-soothing gesture. It's going to be okay. Hang in there. It's going to be all right. But basically what that is that he's trying to hold back his words, which are usually lies.
Interesting. Okay, so you think Armstrong seemed arrogant. One part at the start of the interview stood out to you. Let's listen.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
Yes or no? Was one of those banned substances EPO?
Yes.
Did you ever blood dope or use blood transfusions to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
Did you ever use any other banned substances like testosterone, cortisone, or human growth hormone?
Yes.
Yes or no? In all 7 of your Tour de France victories, did you ever take banned substances or blood dope?
Yes.
In your opinion, was it humanly possible to win the Tour de France without doping 7 times in a row?
Not in my opinion.
Okay, that last thing he did with his mouth, how would you characterize that?
Well, you notice that his mouth was more stretched and he kind of tucks his lips in. That's frustration, almost emerging arrogance and anger combined together. It's a cluster gesture. So then he puts his hand over his mouth, again scooping up the words. You might have seen him kind of scratching his head a little bit like, I'm not so sure if I'm going to share this or not. And then the pausing and the hesitations. And the words that he uses third-person pronouns often in his. So that's actually deceptive. First-person singular pronouns, I, me, and my, are truthful. Those, them, and they, when we tend to use those third-person pronouns, generally are deceptive.
Oh, yeah, he talked a lot in the third person. That was really strange.
Yes, he does.
The way he was sitting struck me, the way he had his legs crossed, because he kind of looked, he sort of seemed to me that he was trying to look relaxed, but he really didn't.
No, he didn't, Carol. In fact, what he did is when he crossed his legs, a lot of guys will sit like that, you know, it's a confident gesture. But here's where it betrayed them. He betrayed him. He actually kept his hands in his lap, making his body language small. So when you're not feeling so powerful, you then close your body language in. But then what he's trying to do is to have you look at him and send the message that he's confident by crossing his leg. But there's also moments where he actually grabs his legs with both of his hands, bracing himself to protect himself.
Wow. Body language expert Susan Constantine, thank you so much for your insight.